Yes, it's the recording has started. Yes, David, the event will be recorded, so
Okay,
would
good.
love you to have you there, but I can understand the network issues.
It says it's recording, so I assume that we are.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
good.
Betty, I have to join outside of my remote desktop.
Okay.
So
Yep.
otherwise it doesn't work. So I've had to be. So if there's issues like that.
Okay, here we go, guys. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the December newbie group meeting. We're thrilled to have you here, and I know it's going to take a few minutes for people to log in and get situated. I hope everybody has a cup of coffee, or like I said before, in Europe, you might have an adult beverage, and you're enjoying your time. And I hope you're getting ready for the holidays. We'd like you to do two things. First, in the chat, if you would just put in the chat where you're from, and if you just look out the window, tell me if it's snowing or not. Tell me if you got snow, or maybe you've got rain or something like that. And welcome. And in a few minutes, we'll get things going as more and more people show up. Take a look at the chat. We're getting a little laugh out loud. I don't know who that was. Maryland's there, in Madison, Wisconsin, here in the U.S. Well, Florida, you don't have snow. Don't start that. 65 degrees. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, somebody from
Okay.
Texas mentioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago, Gina. I'm also from Chicago. Very cold. Yeah, it
Very
got cold
cold in
really sudden.
Chicago. Yet again, I'm doing this to reinforce why I moved to Nashville. Because I used to live up in Chicago and in Cleveland, and this is why I moved. Orlando, Florida. There you
Awesome.
go. Southern California. Very good to have you aboard. Indiana, we know you're cold. Yes. Yes, I'm a Purdue graduate, so I know cold. Yeah, I know Indiana cold. Okay.
Viraj, sorry. Can you let Madeline into the presenter's view? I know she joined, and
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
I think she's there.
We're
Yeah.
just talking a little shop here. Maddie, are you there yet?
Yeah, she said she just joined.
Okay, very good. There's Maddie. For everybody, we'll do an introduction later, but Madeline's in Indianapolis also. So welcome aboard, Madeline. Okay. Okay, we're going to go a couple more minutes. Just put in the chat where you are, where you're from, and let us know what the weather's like, because some people are enjoying a lot of snow. If you're from the Northeast in the U.S., you got snow measured in feet, not in inches, but in feet. Okay.
Yeah,
Wisconsin, a balmy 36 for this time of the year. That is balmy. Seattle, I understand Seattle got a huge amount of rain, and to the point that it's flooding, and that's not a good thing. It's a very bad thing. Sunny California, San Diego. Katie in San Diego, I hope you're planning to come to the TC24. It's going to be in San Diego next last week in April, first week in May. The convention is going to be in San Diego. Hope you're planning on being there. Okay.
Multiple different weather situations, so it's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, do we have anybody from London? Is London in the house?
I see Leicester, but I didn't see any London.
You didn't see? Okay, London had a fabulous tug meeting last night, or so I'm told. They had just a really good tug meeting, and that's great to hear. Andy Newell from Pittsburgh. Good to see you, Andy.
we have Chris
Okay.
from London, so that's good.
Yeah,
Wet and cold, yeah.
that's cool.
Okay. Very good. Viraj, let's go to the next slide and let's get started. We're about 5 minutes into this. People will continue to join us as we go along. Just a little bit on housekeeping. I know some of you are new. You may not have been to the newbie group before. What what you're going to find is that, first of all, everything is being recorded. I mean, we record the meeting so that we have not only do we have a record of this, but probably the first part of next week, that recording will be up on our Newbie Group TUG site, and you'll be able to, download it, look at it, see it up there. But we found that has worked very well, and past meetings are also there, so you can go out and take a look at it. You'll notice that you are able to chat with each other. Your cameras have been turned off and your mics have been turned off. There's just there's like 175 people out there right now. So you're in good company, but talking back and forth would be kind of different. I have to stop for just a second. Cleveland, Ohio, glad to see you there. My hometown, 35 degrees. I'm glad I'm in Nashville today. It's much warmer in Nashville. So let's move on. Now, you can chat back and forth between among yourselves. But if you've got a question, please put it in the Q&A, and because it makes it easier for us to find. You can see this group of people here. Maddie's here, and Raj and Laura. Part of what they do is they try to keep that Q&A clear. But we do encourage you to chat with one another. Now, let's go to the next slide there, Raj. Raj is actually driving the bus. Raj is in India, and I'm in Nashville. And you'll get to meet everybody, but we'll explain how that works. This is your user group. We want this group to reflect what you want and what you want to see. And if you're new to the newbie group, welcome. We expect you at some time to feel comfortable leaving the group and going to another group. Matriculating, if it will, to a local group. And today we have with us Annabelle Rincon. Annabelle, wave up there so that everybody can see you. Annabelle leads the analytics group, and I suspect a lot of you are going to go to the analytics group. They're a very good group, and maybe some of you have already been out there. We meet every 6 to 8 weeks. That's like 7 times, maybe 8 times a year, and we try to gear our presentation and gear our what we're talking about to your needs, and we do that in a couple parts. We'll get into that. But the first part of that is the Jim and Klaus part. Unfortunately, Klaus isn't going to be with us today. He's had an issue in his family, so Viraj is going to play the part of Klaus. Wave to everybody, Viraj, so that they know that Viraj is going to play the part of Klaus, and Klaus and I are going to go into how does that work part, and then we have a featured guest speaker every session, and Annabelle's the guest speaker. And the topics for the guest speaker come from you. If you have an idea of what you would like as a topic for next year, put it in the chat so that we can record that and we can see what you're interested in. Raj, let's go to the next one. Okay, now this marks the end of our second year. The Newbie Group has been around for 2 full calendar years, and we just thought we'd throw this slide up there to show you where we've been and some of the topics that we've talked about. We started by the basics of what are data sets and how do you connect them together, and then we got into visual basics and how you make vises. And just recently we've talked about parameters, and Raj did a great presentation last time on dynamically formatting measures. And today we're going to talk about dashboard actions, and we're going to talk about using actions and what they do for your to add some added flexibility for your users. Just a sneak peek at what's going to happen next year, and you might want to record these. Take these dates down. In January, our first meeting is going to be on the 10th, and we're going to start talking about, hey, if you're new to Tableau, how do you make that transition from spreadsheets to Tableau? And then we're going to go in March, and we're going to talk about connections and data source pages and connecting different file types together. And then in April, we're going to talk about, maybe there's a better way to do this than doing text tables. Maybe moving away from tables into visual charts is a better way to go. And we've got some topics for the remainder of the year. Keep in mind those first 3 meetings. Raj, let's go to the next one. Today's agenda, we're going to spend the first 25 minutes here talking about actions and how you can use those to add some power into your dashboard. And like I say, Barrage and I are going to do that. And then Annabelle Rincon is going to show us how she built her. Well, she's going to talk about her holiday calendar. I don't think she's going to give away too many secrets because she's that kind of person. And then we're going to have a Kahoot quiz. And it's all for bragging rights. There's no cash prizes. Sorry. And no swag involved, but you'll get bragging rights. So we'll have fun there. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, now in the January meeting, and you might want to scan these RSVP because you can sign up for this meeting right now. In our January meeting, we are going to have two speakers. One, Andrew Grinniker is from Tableau, and Marissa Burns is from Salesforce. And what they are going to do, they're going to talk about the Tableau community and the Salesforce community and all the resources that are available for you out there. So it's always an exciting time when we do this. We do this the first meeting of every year, and you can find out a whole lot about other options that you have to enhance your journey, your Tableau learning journey. And that is scheduled for the 10th of January. Raj, I think we're ready to go. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. It takes a lot of work to do this, to do these meetings, and I want you to meet the team. Not everybody is on the call today. I don't know if Enid is out there. Enid is in Indianapolis, and she is just coming off maternity leave, and she's got the cutest little girl. But she's just coming off maternity leave. Enid, if you're out there, let us know, and we'll try to get you on the screen. My name's Jim Daner. I'm in Nashville, and Klaus is in Germany. Klaus and I co-founded this group, and we co-lead this group. Laura, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Hi, I'm Laura. I am in the USA, most specifically Chicago, and I've been with the group for since we started, so like January 2021. It's been a while. So happy to your anniversary to the Tableau NewbieTUG. I'm really, really happy to be here, and this has been a great opportunity for me to learn more about Tableau and, basically getting to know people in the Tableau community. I've met so many people. I've been so grateful to be being with like Annabelle, more other speakers that we've had. So this has been a great opportunity, and I use Tableau in my work where I work in finance, and we use Tableau mostly to analyze risk and things like that. So that's very useful. So I love Tableau.
Okay, Annabelle asked a question. I'll answer the question. She wanted to know what the numbers represent. That's how long we've been using Tableau, and it's in years. So Enid's been using it 3.8 years, and Maddie is our relative newbie, and she's going to speak next. It's at 1.7 years. Maddie, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yep, I'm the baby of the group. I work at a private grant-making foundation, so I work with data from our grantees, but also I work a lot with government and public data. I use Tableau Desktop and I use Tableau Public and a lot of Tableau Prep, because if you work with government data, you know that it's not great data. But happy to be part of this team and always be connecting with other newbies.
Reyes is not with us today. Reyes is traveling around the country, but Reyes has been using Tableau for 3 years, and he's located pretty much where he wants to be, because he's kind of traveling the U.S. in a motorhome, going all over the U.S. He is based out of Denver. Raj?
Hi everyone. Well, I'm from Mumbai, India, way far from USA. I'm a lead analyst at Merkle, and I'm very passionate about community engagement, data visualization, and Tableau. So, when I say passionate, you might have seen me post a lot about NewbieTUG and Tableau user group in general. Well, it's incredible to reflect that it's been 2 years that have passed since I have been part of the NewbieTUG. It feels just like yesterday that I became part of it, but then it has been a long journey, and I've been honored to be able to connect to such wonderful people, including Annabelle today. So it's been a great experience, and I'm a proud Tableau newbie at heart. So I'm always learning new things at Tableau, and this is my first year of Tableau ambassador. So very happy, very glad to be part of it. Thank you, Data Fam, and thank you everyone. So looking forward
Okay,
to continue the journey. Yeah.
two quick points. Viraj just made ambassador, and thank you, Viraj. And I'd like to think that his work with the newbie group helped that along. He's done a lot of other work also. Viraj,
Yes.
you're going to speak here in the very near future. Who are you going to? What's the meeting, and who are you going to speak with?
So I am going to speak at the Mumbai Tableau Data Fest. So it's going to talk about the Tableau community. So in general, like about Data Fam and Tableau. So that's going to be fun.
Congratulations. That's a
Yeah.
big deal. That's a big deal.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Yep.
Let's move on. Okay, now we're going to talk, and this is the Raj and Jim show at this point. We're going to talk about actions and how to leverage those and how to add some visual power into your dashboards. Let's go ahead and get started.
Right. Yeah. So when we say dashboard, it's more of, I would say, it's action. So let's ready, get set, action mode. So as per the Tableau's definition, actions, they add context and interactivity to the data, and the interaction can be by selecting the marks or hovering on the data charts or data points, or by clicking a menu. These actions respond with navigation or changes in the view. So we have about six different types of actions. So, but then what these six action technically do? So we have these listed down, like filter, highlight, and go to. So let's go one by one. So when we say filter action, that's the most basic go to kind of a action. It's like more of chart to chart filtering, where the data from one view is used to filter the data into another. The next is highlight. So this, as the name it suggests, it brings our attention to the marks by coloring a specific mark and kind of dimming the others. So it brings your attention to the point which we want to talk about. Go to URL, it creates an hyperlink to the external pages or files, or maybe to a different Tableau dashboards or a worksheet. uh, the next is go to sheet. It is sometimes, we just have to do a simple sheet to sheet navigation or dashboard to dashboard navigation. So that's what the go to sheet does. It just allows us to move from one sheet to the other. Now the next is change parameter action. So this is a really interesting one, and this is something which I love it on as a personal action. So this action enables us to make selections within the visualization, and then trigger a change in the parameter value, so which in turn kind of changes the viz or some calculation which affects the numbers and so on. So in a sense, I would say it makes the parameter dynamic. And similar to the change of the parameter, this action changes the values in the set, and it triggers the view to change or the values to change accordingly. But then how do we choose these actions? So say I want to filter my dashboard based on clicks, but then I would say it all depends. It depends on your use cases. So when we say use cases, so it's like, if we want to filter one sheet on the other, so it's a natural option to start with. It just, click on one sheet and it filters the other view. If you have to get to more nitty gritty, like filtering on by clicking on the grand totals or selecting specific values in the calculation also changes, then we go for the set action. And as I said, my personal favorite, so it's more of a Tableau, it's the parameter action. It gives the interactivity more better version, if I have to say. So it can, use to filter across different data sources, filtering measure names or values, or also use in the calculation field. But you know every method comes with its specific pros and cons. So as we started with this slide, it all depends on your use case, and we'll get to know how to use each of these actions in the demo which Jim is about to show to us. Over to you, Jim.
Okay, well, let's share the screen.
I am sure now you can start sharing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk. Let's talk about actions and how you actually create an action. I want to start with the most simple case. And if you've seen any of the anything that's out on my blog, you know that I always use Superstore data, or I try to always use Superstore data because that's what you use. I mean, that's you have that in your copy of Tableau, and you can always reproduce these things. I'm just going to take a look at two very simple charts. There's just a text chart here where we look at uh, sales by category and by year, and then a trend chart where we look at just a simple line chart. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to connect these two charts together using an action. And the way you would do that is you can create an action. You go up here to on the dashboard and create an action on the dashboard. We'll take a second here. And I'm just going to click this tab that says this sheet because it'll just show us the one action that I've already created on the sheet. And I'm going to use it to explain how you create that. If you were creating an action from scratch, you would start here. You'd go add an action, and then you'd choose what you want, either a filter or a highlight or a go-to action or change parameter or change set. We're going to look at quite a few of those. Let's take a look at this action that I've already created. And you start by giving it a name. You can name it anything, and I kind of like to associate it with a sheet number to start out with, but that's just me. And there's two sheets that are involved in any action. There's a source sheet and a target sheet. Okay, and our source sheet here is the text table, and our target sheet is the line chart. And what we're going to do is we're going to filter the line chart based on the value that we pick on the pick from the text table. And I've got it set to hover just for example here, but you can set it to select, or if there's a menu on that chart, you can use the menu to drive the action. And then you have a choice of what to do when you release the action or you clear the action. You can either keep the values filtered, or you can show all the values, or, and I use this a lot, you can exclude all the values and the chart just sort of disappears. So you can make the chart kind of pop in and out when you want it. So let's take a look at this particular action and see what it does. We can go over here on the text chart, and as I hover, you can see that my line chart now has been filtered, and we're only looking at office supplies. We're only looking at the category, and we're looking at all the months in the year 2022. So we're looking at the intersection of year and category. I could have gone up and I could have looked at 2022, and we could have looked just at 2022, or we could have looked just at office supplies. There we went. We could have just looked at office supplies across all years. Now, what I'd like to do is I got to move something that's in the way here. Okay. What I'd like to do is maybe reverse that, and I'd like to take a look and go from the trend chart to the text chart. Well, let's take a look at what that action would look like, and I'm going to open that up again. And we're going to open up the action in this worksheet. That chart, that action looks much the same, except now our source chart is the line chart, and our target is the text chart, and it's still set on hover. But you'll notice I made a change here. Here, I only want to look at the category field. I want to see the change that happens when I look just based on the category and not on the date. And you can do that with any one of these actions. You can come down here and you can select the field that you want to use. And then by opening the drop down, you can choose, and I chose category here, that I want to see the category applied from the source field or from the line chart and have it applied over to the text chart. And when we do that, we can now look and we can see that now we're just looking at technology, or we're looking at, if we were to come down here, now we're just looking at furniture. So these things can go both ways, or they can go either way. But that's a very simple filter chart. I'd like to move on now and take a look at a highlight action. And Viraj told us about highlight actions. And to do that, what I want to do is look at a scatter plot. And I don't know if you use scatter plots, but they're very useful. Scatter plots are a way of looking at two measures and plotting in detail what's happening in this case. And I'm going to open this up here. In this case, I've got for each product, I want to look at the sum of profit and the sum of sales, and that chart is just very difficult to see, as you can see. So I want to go into my dashboard here, and I want to be able to highlight like all the bookcases, and or all the labels, or all of the paper, and I'm doing that with something that I call a value picker, and I've created another chart here that's a value picker. That's nothing more than the subcategory names. I place the subcategory names on the chart, and I just used a square there so I had something to hover over. And then when I bring it to the dashboard, we create a action, and that's what we wanted to see today. And the action that we created here is a highlight action. And the highlight action is our source sheet here is going to be the value picker. That's this chart right here on our dashboard. And we're going to highlight based on the subcategory. And we can take that off. Take that off. And when we do that, you can see that all the paper SKUs are highlighted in this chart, or all the label SKUs, or all the supply SKUs. Now, I use value pickers, and we're going to see an example again later. I use value pickers quite a bit because I find them very useful. I don't particularly like opening up drop downs and have users opening up drop downs and pick from drop downs when I can just as easily come over and we can take a look at a value picker, and it's easier for them to work with. Now, the type of value picker I like to use most often, or I've used very frequently, are maps. Maps make great value pickers. And what this chart does, and we'll show you how this is done in just a second, is I use this map over here in the US to create sets and to change sets. And then we can take a look at the sales for what is selected. So if we come over here and we take a look at Texas, for example, we can see this bar chart change for the value of Texas, or we can see, I've got this set so I can select a number of states, and that changes the set for those states. Well, let's go in detail and take a look at how that's done. We're going to go over to this map. And you can see on this map, I've got nothing more than the map and it's a map by state, and I've got that's based on profit, and then the sales bar, the sales chart, has a filter on it, and that filter is a set, and I've created a set based on the states themselves, and all I've done on this filter, or all I've done on this set, is I said we're going to use them all, and then on the dashboard itself, we're going to create that action to change the set values. Okay. Now this is a set action. And what this does is our source sheet is the map of the US. And our target now is not a sheet, but it's the set. That set that I created is the state or province set. And you get there by I open this up and I go to the Superstore sample. And I've got a couple of different sets there. I select the set that I want to trigger by using this value picker. We're going to assign the values to the set as I select, not hover in this case, but as I select the value from the map. And in doing that, we're now able to go state by state, or you can use a We can select a number of states at once, and that value, those states have now become part of that set. So we're using a set action here. Now, the next one that I'd like to show you is a go-to action. And go-to actions come in a couple of different ways. You can use them on sheets, or you can use them on, I like to use filters for go-to actions myself. But I know a lot of people like to use go-to actions, and I just want to show you what this does. The way it's set up, I've got a go-to action based on that state again, or the states of the U.S., and I'm using a value picker there. And if we were to take Texas here, we go to the sheet, and what happened? It didn't work the way that you might have thought that it would work. I would have thought that it would have filtered the sheet also. Well, this action, and this is really what I wanted to show you, this action, as it's set up, is a go-to action. And what this does is, based on the selection that I use on this map, it's going to go to the sheet that I tell it to go to, and it's going to go to the detailed state sheet, but it's not going to do any filtering. Now, you may want that. If you want that type of action is fine, and it will do that. It'll do exactly that. It'll go to the sheet, but it won't do any filtering. If we wanted it to filter, we would have to add a set action, just like we did before. I can drop the set action on this, or I can drop the set on that, and I can come back. And add that action. We'll just add that action. Okay, we're gonna add an action. We're gonna make it a set action. And we're going from the sheet to that set that we just created. And now when we go to the sheet and we look at Georgia, for example, we're only going to look at one sheet. So in this case, if I wanted to filter and use a go-to, I had to put two actions in the sheet. You could do the same thing very easily and very quickly by just using a simple filter action. And we'll take a look at that real quickly. And I'm running out of time. That's why I'm kind of hurrying here. You could do the same thing with the filter action and avoid the duplicate sheet. Okay. I'm sorry, I was on the wrong sheet. We could do this with a filter action and just do it with one, applying a filter from our map to our detailed sheet, and it will filter the sheet as you go along. That type of action is great if you're doing like a catalog lookup and you've got a whole variety of things that are on that second sheet, and you don't want anybody to see that except yourself. And when you make a selection, you want to go to that sheet and just see all the values that, like in this case, would pertain to the state of Texas, for example. We go to Texas. Now, I got one more example to show you, and it's a multiple action example. And here, I've actually got two different types of actions. One is an action that creates sets, and another is an action that is a parameter action. We haven't seen a parameter action before that I use to drive the year of the sales. We'll take a quick look at the two actions, and you've seen the set action before, and all we're doing is we're creating a set off the maps, and we're using it as a way to create a set that we can look at and use to filter the bar chart that you see there. And I've also got a parameter action. And this is new, and we're going to take a look at how the parameter is set up in just a second, where I go to a value picker. Just like before, I've used a value picker here. These happen to be circles. So I'm going to pick the year and the parameter that we're changing. Very similar to a set action. I'm going to change a parameter, and I've got a parameter called set select year, and the field that we're going to do is the year of the order date. And when we do that, I can look at 2023, for example, or 2021, or we could pick a state or a set of states. And just real quickly, the way that this is the value picker that we use for the years, and all we've done here is we've set up a parameter, and that parameter I've used an integer. I've used nothing but an integer here, and use the years 2020 through 2023, which are the values that are in our data, and I use that as a parameter to drive the values in that bar chart. Okay, that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. Let's get back to Viraj. And Viraj, I've just stopped sharing my screen, so you should be able to pick it up.
Yes, we are here.
Okay. Viraj, I'm sorry, I thought yeah, there we go. Thank you very much. I want to introduce our speaker today. Annabelle is a good friend of mine. Annabelle, I've known for a couple of years, but it seems like a lifetime. And Annabelle is one of, not only is she a fellow visionary and a social investor, but Annabelle means so much to the community you can't imagine. She does so much work in the community and with the community as, first of all, the leader of the Analytics TUG group. And also she co-leads the Data Plus Women, and she co-leads the Zurich chapter, and her cohort in crime and sister from another family, Heidi, also is a co-leader of that group in Germany. Annabelle's brilliant, and she has done so much. Well, one of the things she does annually is she creates an advent calendar. And this is the time of the year for the advent calendar. And we persuaded her, we had to twist her arm a lot to get her to show us how she actually goes in and creates that calendar. Annabelle, have I sufficiently embarrassed you so that you're ready to go now? It's all your group for now.
Let me start by sharing my screen. You will see like a lot of Annabelle in 1 second. But now it should be done. So thank you very much, Jim, for the nice introduction. I will have the pleasure to talk about how to do an advent calendar in Tableau. And no, you didn't have to twist my arm. I joined today very gladly to be invited. Here it's just a screenshot because you have like this, like the 2 QR code, because we have an event in the Analytic TUG coming on the 14th of December, speaking about messy data and how to do data storytelling. But we have also the Data Plus Women Zurich event, like Jim just mentioned, and it's tomorrow if you want to join. It's Data Plus Women, not minus men. Men are welcome to join, and is how to transition into any tech role. That's enough for self-promotion. So why should we do an advent calendar in Tableau? That is like a almost philosophical question, right? Why we should do that? Because it's fun. And each time I had 3 years in a row now that I'm doing that, I learn a lot of things in the process. So last year I learned to really play around with my players and with zone visibility. This year I try to tweak my arm to find like a new method to hide the windows. So I'm always learning something. I also recommend sometimes to do a Christmas calendar and sharing at work, for instance, because I noticed that helps to increase the engagement. I will show you some example. For instance, that I did it in 2020. It's not a Christmas calendar, but I publish it in the 1st of January. And I said to the guy at work, I say, hey, here it's like, I don't know how many window I have. That is like one resource at the time for you. So New Year, it's usually you have like you want like to do something new, you want to learn new things. So for your new resolution, why not to learn Tableau? And each coin, when you click, guide you through a new resource. And by doing that, I worked in a banking environment. I was surprised people really like click, because it's like, it's fun and they have resources and it's a little bit different. So having done that in 2020, I said, let's do that for Christmas. And I come up with in 2021 with this edition, and I will show you the subtlety in 5 minutes. And in 2022, I did, okay, let's do it again. So if it looks similar, because I use the same icon from SlideGo, but the technique is always different and the content is always different. And the idea behind is how make accessible the window only when you need it. Because I could make the calendar available for every day of the year, or I can make them only available when the day arrive. And this year I did a new version that I will show you also some context behind. I will not be able to reproduce a tree calendar now today. I will be probably also kicked off after my 30 minutes by Jim, saying, Annabelle, you speak too much. But let's try to go through some of them. So let's open Tableau. And the first one that we will do now is this one. I will try to make it as big as possible for you. Okay, so that is like a simplified version from the 2021. By the way, I'm not hiding any trick, and like Jim also told, it's like so naughty. I have everything on my blog post with explanation on my dashboard. I usually don't label, so you will be able to do it. So let's start. To start an advent calendar, you need data. And the data is often quite simple. I have it here for 2021. Very simple. You need a date, a resource, what to watch, right? Because it's like every day will be a new URL action that I will show you how to implement. But today was about action, so you will be able to refer to what Jim and Viraj just show you. And we need like coordinate. So Y and X and Y, anyway, you need coordinate, Cartesian coordinate. So when you go to Tableau and you already connect to the 2021 Advent calendar, we will go for X. I don't like that. Sorry, I need to move around a window. Otherwise, it's messing up. I will put it my rows. Y in column, don't ask me why. And on mark, it's already selected. If it will be automatic, maybe it will be something else. But anyway, I will take circle. And now it's up to me to decide. Let's keep it red. We will change that in 1 minute. So what I need, it's also make very obvious for you what I have on my tooltip. I will just increase the size. So now I have like for every day, Y and X coordinate, and I will put day into my tooltip. So for you also to see it, maybe not want, but that's fine. Let's put it in detail. That's fine. And reset the tooltip. Yes. Just for you to see that, 15th. So what do I have? Because I was very smart, right? I have day 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bottom. So I just need to reverse my axis. Everything, it's if I have messy data, I can always come up with a way to fix it in Tableau, right? It's absolutely not a good practice. Anyway, so if we refer to the initial calendar, we want a round for every day. We want an icon for every day, and we want a certain color on behind. And we want to be able, when we click, to be dragged to a certain URL. Okay, so let's do that. We already have the circle. we can put the day into label on the middle, for instance, or because we will have the icon on the middle, we will just put it on the side. Then we want the icon. So to that, we need to do a dual axis. So I just command and drag and drop again my x-axis on row, or I can just drag and drop again, that also works. So here my x-axis, I will change now. I will say that I want a shape. And I will say that my day will go to shape. So I will have a different shape every day. I go there, dual axis. And something that when you have dual axis, you don't have to forget. You see here, 6 is on top, 0 is on top, is right click and synchronize the axis. Maybe it doesn't matter now, but it will matter later, I assure you. So what I want to make also obvious is on this view, I want to highlight every day that already have passed because we are the 6th of December and make the other part 7 until 25 like fade away. So for that, we can totally create a calculation that just check, so color or the bubble, just check like, the day. So let's put if, sorry, let's make it bigger. Yes. So if the day of today, so today to an option in Tableau that gives the day of today. And it's very practical because every day it will change, right, automatically in Tableau Public. So that's what I want. So why I put the day of today? Because if you remember, when I show you very quickly, again, I was not very smart. I put a data source that have the date of the 1st of December 2021, meaning that in 2022, my calculation will not have worked if I will not have use the day of date. So now I'm comparing is today, that is the 6th, is higher than the day of the date of my data source. So if it's the case, let's put 1. Yes, I will. Okay. If I make a mistake, it's fine. I can do the contrary. Else 0 and put end. So what I like to do is just apply the calculation. So it's appear here, and I can drag and drop into my view and change if I have done a mistake. So this one, I want it a dimension. I want it discrete. And you see, if I want to highlight also the day of today, I have to change that for equal. Apply. And now I'm highlighting every single day for the 1st to the 6th of December. Of course, I can change the color and give it a little more Christmassy. Let's say that when the day passed, we have, I don't know, red. And if not, no, let's do it differently, sorry. When the day it's 1, let's do it white. And when it's not exactly the day, we'll pick up the same colors on the background, for instance, this blue. So now it's kind of attracting your eyes to the one with the white background and fading the other one. Now, we want to be able that these items are clickable. So I could totally put the URL directly into my detail and using as an action. Or we can, let's see if this calculation will work. Yes. So, or we can use a calculation like this, saying if we are the 1 to the 6, so the first line, show up the URL, otherwise don't show anything. And that's why if I use the URL into detail, and I will put the action. So instead of going to dashboard action, because here it's a worksheet directly, I can also test my action on using the worksheet action. I click on the sheet, and you can have it open your present. What is happening here? That's weird, but that's fine. Okay, open your present, click on select. That's open a new browser tab, and the URL is the one that I just put in detail. So if I hit OK, and I try to click on 7, nothing happened. If I click on the 6, a new window open. So my first dashboard calendar is almost finished. Of course, you can hide the header and make it a little more Christmassy around. So that is the first step to do a Christmas calendar. It's quite useful, quite easy to do. Then in 2021, I was thinking doing a little twist on that. So here, what do you see that is different? First, you have an icon that appears for every day before today, so for 5th. The day of today has a special icon, it is red, and it's not changing, it's not displaying the icon until you click on it. So when you click on it, you are dragged to a new resource, but now the icon appears. And you cannot click on the 7, nothing will come. So to do this trick, we start the same way as in the advent calendar. I already did like the bubble, so it's that is already done. And then I will go step by step. So on the first one, let's say that we'll start having the day. And notice that we have already an issue, but that's fine. That's fine because I have an issue. Why? Because I don't know, but that's fine. That I love when you start having that during your live. That yes, that's okay. That's okay. I get stressed alone. So I just put the label, but yes, I didn't say to Tableau what I wanted on the label, so he put me on the label the X, and instead of having the day. Little detail, you know. Okay, so here just like put the day just for us to have it display. I will just put it outside and make it white just for us for the moment. It's not the display we want to do for the day, but just like keep it like this. So on this one, what I have behind the color, it's a different category. So the 2021 has a category column in which, depending on the resource I provide, either it's a live event, a blog, or something else, I have a category color that is displayed. So we will create a category color calculation. Okay, don't mind my spelling. So the same, it's always the same formula. I'm very consistent. If the day of today is bigger than the day of the date, because I did the same mistake in 2021 and 2022, you will notice. Then show the category. Else, we will put 0. And here that will create an issue, mistake, because category is a string, and here I just put 0 like a number. I doesn't like it, so I will just put a quote just to display a string also. Okay, so now I apply, the category color is created, and I will drag and drop into color, and again modify the calculation live with you. So first we can change maybe the color theme to very be close to the one that I just showed you. When is 0, let's take a white. Blog, you see here I have already color. When I have a color that I like, I can just drag and drop and put it on this little square for further use. So I will just click live on this one, Tableau public on this green, small green that I see, and apply. Okay. Now we are like almost there, but I want to make a distinction for the day of today. So if, else if, the day of today equal the day of date. Yes. Then let's put 1. Again, a string works better. Okay, so now I have another color for today, which is fine. It was red here, it's orange, we can change that. But what I want to do is have a different attitude, let's say, if I have click or not on it. So to achieve this result, I will use a parameter action, meaning that I will say also something. I will say if we are today, and a parameter that's called display, not this one, sorry, display. You see, violet for a parameter. Let's make it bigger. Equal 0, then 1. And I will create, again, I could have simplified, but I prefer like to show it like this. Then category. So apply. Let's put the display at 0. So what it's doing, for the moment, nothing. But as soon as I put the display to 1, you know, now the color is coming, the color of the category. And this, I will be using it as the same calculation everywhere. So here it's the category color. And I will show you how to implement the action. And now we'll do the same. I will use the same logic for the icon display. On the icon display, I use exactly the same calculation. But instead of showing up category, I will say show up the day. Everything will be red for the moment, that's fine. I just don't want to make mistake, so let's not make mistake. Okay, and else we can put a null. So if we are to 1 to 5, display the day. If we are today and the display equal 1, so we accept the display, then show the day, otherwise show null. And this icon display, I will just drag and drop into shape. I can just select the dimension if I want. And obviously now I want to give something a little more Christmassy. And so I will go to my icon and I will assign palette. And we have almost what we want, except that we have a lot of centers everywhere where we don't, because Tableau associates the null to an icon. So I can right click and hide. So I hide the null icon. And that's way I can, when I click on display 1, I will show you how to do like a proper parameter. I display what's the content and a nice icon for the day of today. If not, the icon is hidden. So it's quite similar to the one that we have here. So how we do this action? We do this action, and I will show you the results because it's by having a little calculation, very easy. Or we can, let's do it. It's easier for me to do it. So where I can totally say if the day of today, so if we are today, is the day of the date. Again, I can put then 1, and that's it. And this calculation, I can use it there. Let's put mention, that's fine. Let's see if it shows up. Here on the tooltip, the calculation of 1 for the day of today is 1, and the rest is null. And it's this calculation that I will be using on my parameter action. So if I go to worksheet, I go to action, this sheet, you see I already create the parameter action because I rehearse a little before like showing up today. What I'm saying, I say feed the display parameter. That's why I select here display with the calculation that I just create. You can say that I don't want any aggregation. And when I clear the selection, I can set the value to 0, for instance, or I can keep the current value. Here I will just keep the current value, but otherwise we can do the rest. That's why now the day of today, if I click on it, you see the icon will appear. So that is how to do the Advent Calendar 2021. That was the most complicated, guys, because after it's quite easy. How much do I have, Jim? Au virage? Someone?
I think you have 15.
So how much? So I have still 15 minutes? 10 minutes?
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Okay,
still
so
good. You got 10, 15 minutes.
that's cool. That's cool. So the following year, I say, oh my God, this technique, it's too complicated. I have too much calculation going on around and based on the day of today and everything. And so I say, I'm sure that there is a way to redo that, like simplifying it. Okay, so you will see that is simpler. For me, it's simpler, but like a little bit cumbersome. And I will never recommend to have this technique for like a business dashboard. So let's go. But it's quite interesting technique. So this technique, it's done, this dashboard, this calendar action is done with map layers. Again, map layer, the most complicated part in map layer is having like the data source ready. And I will go through that in a sense. So let's do that. So let's have a look at the data source. If I see view, you see never get old because you cannot see simple thing. So I really like the new action with view data because that allow you to also navigate. So let's go through. What do I have here? I have the day. So I was smarter on 2022. I just put a day 1 to 25. I put y and x and y axis. So again, just that. And then you will see what is happening. So the first map layer, yes, I can show you why I need to create map layer. I need to create map layer because here I don't, yeah. No, I just realized that I forgot to show you something in 2021, but you can you can have a look at my blog. It's not, it's too cumbersome anyway. So why I need map layer here? Because you see I have 3 items. I have the little square. I have the little icon. And I also have like the day. And because I want this display, I need a map layer because with the other solution with dual axis, we couldn't have like this control of the display. And so you will see. So when you have your X and Y axis, you need to create a calculation that will create a map. So the calculation that you use, it's make a point. You use your X and Y axis. And if I just double click, Tableau create a map. For the moment, you see a round, let's put it red so you see where it's coming. And it will try to summarize everything. And myself, I have a X and Y coordinate for every day. So I can just drag and drop day into detail. And now I will have like 25 points. It's still a map, huh? You see it behind, but we will hide it in 1 minute. We can right click, my ground layer, and you can remove the base and the land cover, and every detail here on the map will disappear. Okay, so now I have 1 point for every day. And remember, I don't want a circle this time. I want a shape. I want a square. You just have to find out how big you have to make the square in order to have like something a little more comprehensive. Okay, and then I want an icon on top of them. So again, what I will do, it's the same map layer. I will put it again in my map. And again, put the day into detail to have like a different point for everyone. Then I can go to shape, do the same than before, select a shape for every day. So I go to day, select shape. It's very small, so I will just like increase the size. Not so much. That's the beauty with map layer. You have like to play around a little. What I recommend immediately is to give a name to every map layer that you have. So this one can be the windows, and this one can be the icon. It's easy for you like to give this idea. So, and then we need a little date. For that, the day of the day, I will use like another point. You will see it's a very mathematic, very complex calculation. I need the date to be a little on the right corner. So for that, I just set as the X that we have that is in the center of the square. You just give like 0.28. How did I find that? Just by trying, is it 0.3, 0.32, and just playing around. So nothing very mathematical here. So I just create this point. And again, drag and drop into the view a map layer. Put the day here in detail, so same. And then we can just have a circle, make my window a little bigger. Not so big. Let's say that it's okay. It's not the point to have like a perfect yeah, Tableau like to trick me during demos. And then we can absolutely have a white background and put also the day into the label and center the label. So just one cosmetic change before like showing the beauty behind like the display of these windows. I wanted to have a different color for every single day. So I can select my day and change color and say that my color are discrete. Obviously, that doesn't appear like this in Tableau. I select a certain color palette and I select like several colors for them. But if you want, and I was thinking, I don't want a white display for the day. I want that it's changing color. But for instance, that in the 15, I have the color background of the, I don't know, the 16, something like something that is the same color, but kind of random. So to do that, what I did is I go to the day. I put day -1. And so let's drag and drop again. Day, yeah, we can do that. I put day -1. And on the day -1, I change the color. I put the same trick. I want discrete. And that way, it didn't work. That's fine. That's fine because it worked so well before. Yeah. So normally doing that works quite well. And automatic, right? But not today. Not today. Okay, so normally that worked quite well. I know, right? That's fine. That's fine. I will not fight it so much. Worst case scenario, you can always like reassign the color palette, but usually it works. I will have to find out why today didn't, but that's something for another day.
Annabelle, this has been absolutely fantastic. Turn off the echo. You're getting so many questions and so many responses in the chat. Everybody has loved what you have done. Now, for those of you who are new to Tableau, what you have seen today incorporates a lot of good new stuff. Before there were map layers, you just plain couldn't do some of this stuff. And Annabelle has incorporated map layers into a way they really weren't designed or intended to be used to create something special. So you got some really great insight into. Yes, Keith Pendergrass said nice, absolutely nice. She's done a great job. Now that is why when you're ready to leave the newbie group, not for a few months yet, when you're ready to leave the newbie group, that's why you want to go to the analytics group, because you get into some more advanced things and they're just super. They're just great. Barrage, I think we might be ready for a Kahoots quiz. What do you think?
Yes, we are, and I think let's hand it over to Laura. So
Yeah, hi. Let me know if you guys can see me. Can you guys hear me well? I hope you can hear me
yes,
well. So I will be starting post quiz. Some of the images might be reused, so don't be. Some of them are like good for the questions I had, but I had some trouble finding the images right ones. So don't pay too many attention to them. So I'm gonna start the codes quiz, and I will be sharing my screen ASAP. So.
And we would remind everybody there are no prizes, no cash awards, but you do get bragging rights. You could sit around the Christmas tree and just tell everybody how you won.
I'm doing a classic mode and it's loading the pen. I have the audio on very low just so you guys can hear me. So I just want to say thank you to Madeline because Maddie helped me so much with some of the questions, and I just have like the questions I had, so and helping me level up all the questions I had. So thank you, Maddie. Somebody mentioned that VPN did not block. Thank you. Glad for that.
yeah, I think Kahoot is like an universally accepted website.
I'm glad. I'm glad. But yeah, like Bevy would not work on my. Yeah, Bevy was not working for me when I was doing when I was in my like work like remote desktop. So I had to always use it outside.
Correct.
So
Yep.
that was fun figuring that out. So we have 44. I'll wait for a few different people. We only have like 100 around 100 people left.
Right.
So
Right.
like 50 people is good enough once we start.
Right.
If a few more people want to join, feel free to.
I believe the Bevy wants us to just focus on the event. So, that's the reason it gives you all the other issues. So you better close everything else and just focus on the video that has been shared.
Yeah. Yeah. We have one more person. If one more person can join, I will start this quiz ASAP.
Come on. Come on. Someone, please join. Make it 50.
I don't mind. I'll
And
just, I think,
okay.
okay, I'm going to
Just
start.
one.
There's
Just
49. It's
one. Okay.
fine.
Probably they might
I'm
join. Network
starting.
issues.
No worries. I have awesome. So
Yay.
it's starting. I don't know if the questions are as fun as it was in the past, but I've tried my best. So, what are Tableau actions?
Actions have consequences.
They
That's
do.
true.
So
Yeah. In
that's
this
what I
case,
do.
it's going to be awesome consequences. So
Yeah. Either you have, oh, awesome. Yes. So that's the first slide that Viraj had. So it adds context and interactive elements on the dashboard. So awesome. I'm glad somebody chose actions of consequences. I'm like, yes. Let's see who is
so
awesome.
JJ.
DJ. Good to see. Let me see. Let me go to the next one. This is a question by Maddie. So thank you so much, Maddie. It was a tricky one, I think.
Changing allies. Wow.
It's a tricky one, I think. Yep, most of you got it right. So yeah, you can do all of the other ones. So yeah, you can definitely go to a sheet. That was one of the ones that Jim definitely mentioned.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Oh, let's see who is JJ. Good job. Oh, we have
JJ
new
still
people on
there.
our list.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, this is also a question that gave to me by Maddie. So thank you, Maddie. Yeah, I have trouble putting together questions. So the way it's worded, so this is helpful. Awesome. One more second. Oh, awesome. Yes. You can also find it in the action, but we mostly want it for the dashboard. So when Jim and Raj was using actions, it was in the dashboard.
Yep.
One of the things they mentioned was the use cases. So what you're using for. I know Annabelle used actions in her worksheets. So that was very interesting to see. This is also by Maddie. So thank you, Maddie. You can always have a stun double for an action. So I highly recommend it.
Yes. It's good to have a stand up.
Awesome. Yeah. These are both right. You don't always need a line chart for an action, but let's see who is. Well, JJ, he's keeping it like they're keeping their
JJ's
place.
right.
Matt has gone up 4 correct answers in a row. So let's see. Jim specifically mentioned this, and I feel like this might be a trick question, but I'm not sure. So
Just to call out, Laura and Madeline's designed this Kahoot on the fly, so that's great to us.
You can also we use parameter action for something else, but from when Jim was this is mostly related to what he was presenting. So when he had a go to action, he didn't that one did not have it could not like z- like zoom into the specific states. So he added a set and a filter set. So that's how he got it to zoom in. So Katie,
Okay, Chanta.
yeah, awesome. We have new people on the list. That's okay. Joe said they clicked wrong. I'm like, oh man. This was tricky for me. I was like confused when Maddie sent me this question, but
I
that's
like the
okay.
idea that it's a magic tool.
Yeah, it is a magic tool like this.
Yeah, that's
Annabelle
good.
has her magic tools. I have my magic tools.
Yes.
Annabelle, you have opened my mind up today for map layers. So yeah, so the right
Uh,
answer is another chart. There's different questions. There's all these different answers, but thank you for the ones who clicked the magic tool that Jim uses. But Jim used a chart. It's another chart that he used. So let's see. Ooh, we
oh,
have
Aaron.
yeah. Let's see. Let's go to the next question. I have a few different ones. Yeah, we have 10 questions. So this one has no points, guys. But I just wanted to. Um, I spelled Annabelle wrong. My bad. But yeah, I just wanted to have fun with it. There's no points in this. Being on the spot, Annabelle. But thank you.
Yeah, so
She's
this is going to
definitely
be how well you know Annabelle. It's not how well you know Tableau now. So
yes. From this, we switch on to what Annabelle. Awesome. Oh, a lot of people did pick Switzerland. She is from France. So that was tricky.
Yeah, because I'm from France, my parents are Spanish, and I'm living in Switzerland. So
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to like, I asked her before this, and so I put France, but you can definitely, I should have added Switzerland too, but that's no point. We don't get points for that.
Sarah, Annabelle is a amateur chocolatier, so
Oh yeah, I remember her.
doesn't just like chocolate.
This should be pretty obvious, I think. I don't think Annabelle used one of the things here. This is from one of her older ones, I think 2021. Yeah, she did not use any Roman numerals, guys, but everything else, date, the type of resource. Let's see. Ooh, Arham,
um,
he's on a streak. Oh, 8 answers in a row. Awesome.
oh,
Let's
that's
see.
nice.
Yeah, this is one of the last one of the. Yeah, I spelled Annabelle wrong again. Um,
Hmm.
so this is a bit tricky because she did not. I don't know what she did because I thought it was pretty tricky how she did it. Maybe
Because she did her magic.
yeah, she did her magic. Yeah, so she did not highlight using actions before in the 2021. She used the colors and highlighted the color, changed the colors instead of using an action. So I don't think that was an action. So, ooh, Katie, you're up again. Let's see. The last question. Let's see. Yeah, this is just the type of calculation she uses. She used that a lot. So I don't think she used it for the 2022. The one that she did with the map layers, I was just too mesmerized, so I didn't make any questions for that, Annabelle. I was staring at the screen.
Yes, I think that's the most viewed part in the recording. That's going to be the most viewed part.
Yeah, I was very mesmerized. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, she did use a lot of calculations for the 2021 and the 2020, I believe. Yeah, the past 2 years of advent calendars. So Annabelle did say parameter actions are her thing, so thank you. Maybe I missed that, but let's see who is on the podium. Ooh. Ooh.
Hey,
Awesome. Buddy,
Rapti,
yeah.
and I hope it's
Maybe Katie, maybe not.
Katie.
oh,
Katie.
Katie,
Katie, congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Special
We do have
holiday wishes to you.
It's a
special.
December gift for you guys. You guys are been paying attention. Awesome. So thank you. I'll stop.
Raj, you want to take us
Great.
back to the
Yes. Thank you, Laura. That was wonderful. And So we had a fun
Yep.
time with Kahoot, and
That was fun. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look ahead at 2024 because it's going to be a big year. We're going to start off on January 10th with our guest speakers being Andrew Griniker and Marissa Burns, as I said before. Andrew is from Tableau, Marissa is from Salesforce, and they're going to tell you about all the great stuff that's available through the community or through the combined community, Tableau and Salesforce. March 6th, Ken and Kevin are going to join us, and they're going to do some of their magic, and that is going to be one fun event. And then in April, Andy Kriebel will join us. So the first half of the year is going to be huge for the Tableau Newbie Group. Plan on signing up. You can sign up right now for the January event. And you can either scan the RSVP code or you can go out to the Bevy Tableau Newbie Group page and sign up right now. But we plan on seeing you in 2024. Hey, have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy whatever holiday you celebrate. Have a safe New Year, and we'll see you in January. Bye now.
yes, bye
Thank you,
bye.
everybody. Sign up for the next January. So thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Annabelle.
Thank you, Annabelle.
Annabelle, stay with us for just a little bit.
Raj, do you want to stop?
That was my plan.
Yeah.